Hello, Sudbury, and welcome to CKLU 96.7. This is your host, Jess from Our Creator, signing on for another episode of Creator Conversations. If you haven't checked out Our Creator yet, we definitely suggest you check it out on all your social media platforms. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under Our Creator as well. You can go direct to our site at ourcreator.com for news content. That's OURCRATER.com. We especially hope that you are signed in because we have started work on one of our favorite events of the year. This is our third annual 12 Days of Giveaways. So we have been partnering and talking with so many awesome businesses that we love in our community. And we are going to be giving away 12 different prizes to spoil some of our readers for the holiday season. So I know it's kind of hard to believe that we're even planning for that. But nevertheless, here we are. So we've assembled some really great prizes so far. We've still got more rolling in, but definitely make sure you are subscribed on all your feeds to make sure that you are the first to hear about it when things get rolling. So this week's topic is something that's been on my list for a little while to get to, but October turned out to be the perfect time to do it. It is National Library Month as well as Ontario Library Week here in Sudbury. So we are talking today with Tammy DiAmicis. She is the coordinator of outreach programs and partnerships for the Greater Sudbury Public Library. There's a lot of amazing resources the library has available for Sudburyans that people maybe don't necessarily know about. If you maybe haven't visited in a while, maybe you haven't seen anyone make use of them. But there are lots of amazing things. The library truly is more than just books these days. Now we're going to talk more with Tammy. She's going to give us a rundown on all the different programs and different things that you can get involved with at the Greater Sudbury Public Library. So she was very generous with her time to sit down with us and talk about some of the programming that the Greater Sudbury Public Library does. So we definitely appreciate her taking the time with us. So tune in here. We're going to hear all sorts of things about what the Greater Sudbury Public Library has to offer. And we definitely hope that you will make a visit to your local location as soon as you can. Today on Creator Conversations, we are joined by Tammy DiAmicis.
DiAmicis?
DiAmicis. It's a tongue twister.
It is not. It is the friend.
Oh, that's friend? That's what it means?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, that is the perfect title for you.
Yes.
So now your position with the library is coordinator of outreach programs and partnerships. So can you tell us a little bit about your role in the library and what you do to make it better, make more people aware?
Oh my goodness. It's a hard question because it is absolutely a huge job. Coordinator of programs and partnerships. We, as a library with 13 branches, try to fit the needs of the communities and the people of Sudbury with different programs and events that are relevant to the people. So we have everything from programs for children, story times, to craft nights at the local library, to meditation, to...
I saw the sign for laughter yoga when I came in.
We have laughter yoga. We have grief. We try to have a little bit of everything because people are so varied and they have so many needs and interests and wants. So you never know what's going to come up with programming.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And sometimes it's our own library staff doing the programming. Sometimes it's a partnership. In December, we will have free passes to the Sudbury Theatre Centre for Plaid Tidings. They will be free tickets, limited number, to give out to the public so that they can experience other things in our community that would be of interest to them.
So looking for those kind of opportunities to connect folks with things that are interested.
We have connections.
Awesome.
Yes.
Now, we're a little bit late in the game, but October has been National Library Month, and the Greater Sudbury Public Library has been celebrating Library Week. So can you tell us a little bit about what Library Week means to you?
Okay, Ontario Public Library Week, or Canadian Public Library Month. The tag is "A visit will get you thinking." So we have been out. There are a lot of people that actually don't know what the library has. We all have this old image of tiptoeing in, being quiet, looking at books, don't touch anything. And the library is not that anymore.
No.
We are alive, we are vibrant, we are public spaces. We do have books, but you can touch them and we want you to read them. And if you can't read them, you can listen to them on audiobooks. Or you can join one of our writing circles and write them. There's just, so a visit will get you thinking.
Yeah, it's kind of just about encouraging people to give it a shot, see what's new.
Come out, find out what we have. Come into our maker space and make. We create. We have just so many different and varied things.
Yeah.
So Ontario Public Library Week, which is this week, we have done outreach to our post-secondary schools in town, because we do have a lot of kids, young adults, who can make use of the library, because libraries are free for everybody, not just students. Everything is free.
Yeah.
You can sign up for programs. You can borrow DVDs. You can borrow movies. You can reserve meeting spaces to come in and do your event. You can join into our event.
Yeah.
So this Saturday, this Saturday,
Yeah,
I'm going to say, we have a really special event coming up, and it is a living library.
Yeah.
Which is another take, because every person has a story. So we have 11 people who have amazing, amazing stories to tell at our living library. The theme this year is survivors. So if you want to talk to strong, resilient people who have gone through things that are just mind-boggling,
to think about,
really,
right?
Come out,
Yeah.
sign up in the morning, talk to them, and get a story that way.
Nice.
Or stop in and get a book and get a story that way.
Now, a lot of people these days, I'm sure, kind of question the relevance of libraries existing. Why do you need to go to a physical library? Everything is on the internet. Everything is available digitally, whatever, right? So why would you say that libraries are such an important part of the community?
Because we are more than books. We are connectors. We take people, we take programs, we take interests, and we connect. We also have a huge digital library. So if you're not into coming into the space, all you have to do is come in once, get that card, and you can download movies, you can download books, you can download audiobooks, you can go on to our Linda library and learn how to do things, which is basically a YouTube site.
Okay.
We just have so much. So that's one of the things. The other is cost. Last year, if we totaled up all of the books, all of the newspapers, magazines, CDs, audiobooks, and DVDs that were checked out, the people of Greater Sudbury saved themselves $16,500,000.
Wow.
So anybody that wants to save a little bit of money, come in and get a free card.
Yeah.
And save yourself that money. I mean, or if you don't have money, come in and get a card. It's free.
Yeah.
You need a residence. You need proof of residence. That's all you need.
That's about it. One of the really great things too that I think people don't really necessarily think about a library is the library is really one of the only places that remains where you don't need to spend any money to enjoy and access the library.
Nothing.
It doesn't cost you to be at the library.
Not for anything.
You think about just meeting somebody for a cup of coffee, you still got to pay for that cup of coffee, right? Versus, you can come to the library, have a seat, enjoy, whatever.
We do have coffee, but you do have to pay for that.
But you don't have to buy a coffee. All right. So you've already kind of mentioned a little bit that the library encompasses so many different services. So what are maybe some of the services that people wouldn't guess that the library has available for them?
Again, we have hidden treasures, right? And I don't know that they're hidden. But last week, one of my senior friends said, she sent me a link to a library in another place and said, wouldn't it be wonderful if you had this service? And the service was homebound services.
Okay.
Homebound services, we choose and have delivered by volunteers. Where's my number? I have a number, and it is 200 people. 200 people who are homebound and can't physically access the library.
Wow.
Still they receive books on a monthly basis.
Wow, yeah, that's a great service for, like Sudburyans that can't get out of the house, they still have needs, they still need to be entertained and learn. And
Exactly. Interlibrary loans. If we don't have a certain book in our collection, we actually reach out to other libraries and borrow from libraries in other cities, bring them in, and then lend it to you. So even with our massive collection, we still will get you more.
wow.
Right?
Yeah, if this is not enough.
Right? If
what else
this
do you
is
need?
not enough.
We'll get it for you.
Right?
Now we've obviously what people will most often associate libraries with is reading.
Exactly.
Something that I feel like maybe a lot of people in their adult life kind of let go to the wayside. So can you talk to us about the benefits of making recreational reading a part of your routine?
Oh, it just takes you places. It just takes you places. And with the library, if you are a recreational reader, we have book clubs. We have a number of book clubs happening throughout the city, and we read books of varying genres, fiction, nonfiction, and then get together with generally a group of 10 to 12 people and get to hash out and argue and support and share that reading experience. So that's one of the things to me. I'm a huge reader, so
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Awesome. Now, obviously, quite a few volumes you carry in the library here, but what are a few of the hot reads of the moment that people are checking out and raving about?
the hot reads today. Holy man, I did not do my research on that. But on our new book truck today, which there are new book trucks pretty much every day, I saw the latest Jodi Picoult, and I don't know what the title is. It had the word spark in it. But I
think I've heard it.
There's a waiting list on that book because people wait for their...
And Jodi Picoult, you remember her from My Sister's Keeper.
Yes.
That's one of her kind of her more notable books.
I know that the book Fear, which is the story of Donald Trump, is a very, very, very popular book right now.
Interesting to say the least, right?
Yeah. And then, if you want to get into politics, Michelle Obama is going to have her new book out very shortly. I think it's the first week of November, but it already is on our system.
Oh.
So if you want to get your name on that list,
Get it first.
get your
Read
name
it
on that
first.
list. Go on and put your name on a reserve.
Awesome. Now, we talked a little bit about the Living Library. That event is coming up October 27th at the South End Library.
Correct.
So do you happen to know anything about any of the survivors that we're going to be talking to?
I do. I can share a little tiny bit about a couple of them. No, I am going to share generalities.
Okay.
So we have people who have survived physical issues. A girl who has a brain injury, a soldier, a retired soldier who has lost limbs while he was in Afghanistan. We have a gentleman who is the recipient of transplants. He's had a double lung transplant.
Wow.
So those are a couple of the physical challenges that people have survived. We have a young lady with PTSD, survivor of extreme poverty and quite a harsh life. We have a survivor of sexual abuse. We have a survivor of residential schools. We have a mother who survived her daughter's long-term illness and death. So many.
Yeah, so many different stories, right?
And very strong people.
Wow, yeah.
Who are survivors.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the Living Library, you'll have the opportunity. It's from 10:30 to 3:30?
Registration starts at 10:30.
Okay, and so then you have the opportunity
You have to
take...
show up at the South End Library and reserve your living book.
Okay.
And then you actually get to check a specific person living book out and ask them
20 minutes.
20 minutes. You've got 20 minutes.
20 minutes, they're all
whatever
yours.
you want to know.
Awesome.
It's a phenomenal experience.
Yeah, and then this isn't the first time you've hosted this event, right?
We've done it. This is our third event. Last year we did Greater Sudbury Welcomes the World and had 10 immigrants with their amazing stories to tell.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a great undertaking. It's such a great, unique opportunity for people to get to know other people that are in their community.
It is. It is. And the stories are the basis of books, right?
Yeah, really.
So these are human books, but every single one of those people could sit down and write their book, write their story. And that's how we have what we have upstairs.
Oh, amazing.
Right?
Great, yeah. So let's cut to some music here, and we're going to be back very shortly with Tammy, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of those things that you can access at the library. Hey, welcome back to CKLU 96.7. This is your host for our Creator Conversations. This hour we are talking with Tammy DiAmicis from the Greater Sudbury Public Library. In our first half, we've talked a lot about National Library Week and Ontario Public Library Month, some of the special activities that the Greater Sudbury Public Library will be doing for the month of October and for this week to celebrate. And we're definitely going to get into more of that. But first, let's cut to some music here. So we have a few acts that are going to be performing very soon that you can check out right here in Sudbury. So the Almighty Ramas, they are performing at the Townhouse. That is on October 27th. They will be performing with Rapport and Dropout.
So you can check them out. That is on Saturday the 27th. We also have White Hot. They'll be performing again at the Townhouse on November 4th. And last up, we have Sam Tudor. So he will be performing at Cosmic Days Vinyl Emporium on Kathleen Street. That is coming up on Friday the 26th with Ox. So you can check that out for sure. There's going to be lots of fun. So let's head into our playlist here. So we've got Last Century by the Almighty Rhombus, Shades by White Hot, and Truthful by Sam Tudor. Thanks for tuning in to Creator Conversations presented by Our Creator. We can't play the music right here, but check out below for the link to this week's playlist, as well as all the links you need for this week's guest. Make sure you're subscribed to Our Creator on all your feeds. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all under Our Creator, and use the hashtag Our Creator to be featured. Welcome back to CKLU 96.7. So we are back now from our very first music break. That was Last Century by the Almighty Rhombus, Shades by White Hot, and Truthful by Sam Tudor. You can catch the Almighty Rhombus performing at the Townhouse on October 27th, White Hot at the Townhouse again, November 4th, and Sam Tudor with Ox will be performing at the Cosmic Days Vinyl Emporium. That is coming up October 26th, so Friday, Saturday, and then some plans for next weekend as well. So this hour, we have been talking with Tammy DiAmicis. So she is the coordinator of outreach programs and partnerships with the Greater Sudbury Public Library, who are currently celebrating Ontario Public Library Week and National Library Month. So they've got lots of fun programming happening at the library. Definitely something I recommend you check out. Something we talked about a little bit in our first half here, if you are just tuning in now, is the Living Library. It's a super cool event. I'm really excited about it. So that's coming up on Saturday the 27th from 10:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the evening at the South End branch of the library. So the Living Library, they are 11 Sudburyans that they have assembled. This year the theme is survivors. So all 11 of these Sudburyans have a unique survivor story, something that they have overcome in their life. People that are interested in participating can come to the library, to the South End location, and register themselves and have the opportunity to check out a book. So one of their survivors, they can take for 20 minutes to have a conversation with them to hear more about their story, ask them any questions they might have, and have an opportunity to gain a little bit of a more unique perspective. It's a really great opportunity to learn more about the people that live in your community. So we are going to get into the second half of our interview here with Tammy DiAmicis. So she's going to give us a little bit of a rundown on some of the more unusual services that you can access at the Greater Sudbury Public Library. Lots of stuff that you probably didn't even know about. So tune in.
We're back in the studio for Creator Conversations. This week we're talking with Tammy DiAmicis, who is the program and outreach coordinator at the Greater Sudbury Public Library. So October has been Canadian Library Month, and this week is also Library Week. So the public library has lots of great events going on that you should definitely check out if you're interested. But what we want to talk about is some of the things that people might not know that they can access at the library, some of the things that might be surprising to them. But to get started here, if you're somebody who's looking for maybe opportunities to get a little bit more involved in the community, are there any groups or meeting groups or anything like that at the library that people can take part in?
Book clubs. We do have book clubs at, I believe, 6 different locations right now.
Or writing groups?
I don't know if we have we don't have an ongoing writing group, but we often have like a 6-week session or a 4-week session.
Oh, okay.
It's not an ongoing one. So again, our events calendar, anybody that can access our events calendar, go on, check it out, because our events change all the time.
There's always lots of stuff going on. And we're at the main branch recording here today, but when you come in, there's just a big wall full of things that you can check out. Right. They're all at the library for you, so stop wasting your time. Great. Now, one thing that's really great down here, we're at the main branch in the basement, is some of the historical archives. So there's lots of information that people can access if they're researching for something specific that is super, super valuable. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay. And in the basement at the Mackenzie Library.
It's hidden down in the basement.
It is hidden in the basement, and it actually is quite a quiet space because people are interested in finding so many answers to so many questions from the past. So we have access to articles in the Sudbury Star right back to 1911. So if you're doing any genealogy, which we are experts in, you can come in, you can search obituaries, you can search
birth announcements, wedding announcements,
any of that stuff. We have a huge number of historical photographs. We have maps of Sudbury then and now. We have microfilm, lots and lots of microfilm with all the historical data.
Yeah, so it really is an amazing resource. You know, if there's anything from the past that you're looking for, I know that I've had to root through them before.
Right.
The Sudbury Journal. Who knew the Sudbury Star was called something else at some point, right?
Right.
It's really, really cool. It's things that you'll find, even just looking through the microfiche and seeing like old advertisements and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Exactly.
So we're recording right now from the makerspace. So can you give us a rundown of some of the equipment that library card holders can make use of in the makerspace?
The makerspace, it's such a fun space. Probably our crowning glory is the 3D printer. Mm-hmm. You can design anything you want, and we can print it. We can print a 3D version of it, which is just, it's beyond me. I can't actually get my brain going that way, but it's fascinating. So there is that. We have a vinyl cutter. I know that there are so many people that are into making signage, and maybe they're way better than I am, but I have used the vinyl cutter to take images, print images, and then do vinyl images of words or pictures. I can take home, I can put them onto my piece of wood, set them up perfectly, and I look like I can do good lettering. It's like magic.
Look like a superhero.
Right? We have a Lego wall. You can come in and your kids can just play with Legos. Kids, adults too. We have sewing machines. If you're a little bit short-legged, you can bring all your pants in and you can hem your own pants at the library. You don't have to go out and buy a sewing machine. Goodness, I just have to keep turning around. There are so many things.
Yeah, one of the things that's really cool when I first started using the makerspace, we're actually recording right now on a piece of equipment from the makerspace. So if you're looking for anything to record with, they have a beautiful Yeti mic.
Exactly.
But they also even have the equipment that you could do something in the green screen. There's so many things that you can access that you wouldn't even think about finding at the library at all. I'm looking above. We have weaving looms up here.
We do.
Just about everything you can think of. So are there any particularly impressive creations that you've seen leaving the makerspace that people have taken part in?
Our last maker in residence, and we're between maker in residence right now. She was doing felt work with people. So she did little felt animals that I totally fell in love with.
That's cute.
I do want to have another program with her because I'm very hands-on crafty. So I do like that
aspect of it.
I know that Junction Creek just printed off something on our 3D printer last week which, as I said, they just fascinate me. Any of the 3D.
Yeah, the idea of being like, you can print anything you want.
Right.
You're like, oh, what do I want to print?
Exactly. Exactly.
But people make really great use of the space for sure. Like, I mean, they have the unlimited access to tools, right? And now you said you're between makers and residents right now. But what kind of activities have past maker residents brought into the maker space?
Oh my goodness. We have had woodworking. We have had textile working. I'm blank.
Well, we had felting as well.
Felting.
That we just had.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's all sorts of different things,
so
right?
many things, and it's like, holy man.
Man, so if you were interested in maybe becoming the next maker in residence, what kind of skills are you looking for?
Again, it's like who we service. It is so varied. So we don't have specifics on what we're looking for. People apply to be maker in residence, and then we try to find the best fit for our community at that time. So artists, makers, in all.
If you
all forms.
create something and you can teach other people how to do it too, you can. It could be you.
It could be you.
Oh man. So now we've talked a little bit about some of the services the library has that you might not necessarily expect, but what are some of the maybe unusual things that you can check out and take home from the library?
We have fishing rods, we have snowshoes, tennis rackets, golf clubs, pickleball, which I didn't even know what pickleball was, but holy man, is it ever popular.
But oh boy, do people love pickleball.
They do. Theater passes and seeds. Right now, most people would not be borrowing seeds, but we absolutely take seeds into our seed library.
Oh, okay. Tell us more about the seed library.
Seed library we've had it for a few years now. And it, again, is housed in the basement of the Mackenzie Library. So they're seeds. They're free seeds, vegetables or flowers. Gardeners can come in, take what they want, bring them home, plant them in their gardens, grow whatever they're growing, and come fall, which is now, your vegetables or flowers have gone to seed. So what we ask is that you harvest those seeds, bring them back to the library, and put them back into our seed library so that next year, again,
there'll be a whole new batch of seeds.
Right? So
wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of different unusual
things that you wouldn't think that you can take out from the library, right? Awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much, Tammy, for talking with us. And we hope to see you at the library very soon.
I will be here.
Welcome back to CKLU 96.7. We are back here this hour. We've been talking with Tammy DiAmicis. She was super generous with her time to talk to us about Greater Sudbury Public Library and all the different services and activities that they have to offer. Tons of stuff that maybe you didn't know about. Maybe you haven't been to the library in a while. There's lots of awesome things that you can access. So definitely recommend checking it out. You know what they say, having fun isn't hard if you've got a library card. So we're going to get into our last set of music here. So we have a few tracks here. The Arkells, they performed this summer at Northern Lights Festival. It was a sold-out show. Everyone had an amazing time. They just released their new album, Rally Cry, this weekend. So we're going to play a track from that album. We also have Maggie Rogers. So I don't know about you. I've talked before on this on the show about how I am a big lover of podcasts. And one podcast that I've been really falling in love with lately is Song Exploder. And they did an episode with Maggie Rogers. So if you don't recognize her name, you might recognize her from the viral video that was going around a few years ago of a classroom and with Pharrell Williams dissecting a song of a student. And so that student was Maggie Rogers. And they did do an episode with her about the song Alaska that they were listening to in that particular viral video that went around. And it was a really great insight. So I went to look her up to play that song. Turned out she had some new music out, so why not? And then the last one, just another earworm for you from a band called Mallrat. So we have Hand-Me-Downs by the Arkells, Light On by Maggie Rogers, and For Real by Mallrat. And we'll be right back soon to sign off. Thanks for tuning in to Creator Conversations presented by Our Creator. We can't play the music right here, but check out below for the link to this week's playlist, as well as all the links you need for this week's guest. Make sure you're subscribed to Our Creator on all your feeds. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all under Our Creator, and use the hashtag Our Creator to be featured. Hey, welcome back to CKLU 96.7 for Creator Conversations. So that was Hand-Me-Downs by the Arkells, Light On by Maggie Rogers, and For Real by Mallrat. This hour we have talked with Tammy DiAmicis. She gave us all sorts of information about the Greater Sudbury Public Library. So all sorts of different things that you might not have known that the Greater Sudbury Public Library offered. So definitely head to your nearest branch and check that out if you're looking for something to do. They've got lots of great services and they're there to help. The Makerspace is an amazing resource downtown and downstairs in the Mackenzie branch of the library if you're feeling a little crafty, if you want to try something new. One statistic that Tammy mentioned in the beginning of our interview, which completely blew me away, was that Sudburyans last year, based on the items that were checked out of the library, if Sudburyans had actually purchased all these items that were checked out of the library over the course of the year, would have been $16.5 million. So Sudburyans, by using the library's free resources, saved themselves $16.5 million. Just think about that number for a minute. That is crazy. So definitely head to the library next time you're looking for something. I know I will be. But we're going to sign off now here, and we're going to turn things over to Steve for 6 Degrees.